How about the robots?
Do what?
No mic.
No mic. No mic. Don't use mic? What?
Good. Is it working? Maybe it's because I'm recording the speaker.
Oh, you can't hear me?
There you go. Now it's on.
Hey!
Hey!
It's late. Welcome. I thought this was a fancy dress panel. But okay. I'll just take off my tie. Slacks. No. I won't. Hello. My name is Michael Sinterniklaas. I director of adaptations. I don't even know what the name of the panel is. I was told to come here. What is it? Is it called something specific that I need to talk about? Or just Michael's on the panel by himself?
I think it's just Michael's on the panel by himself.
Michael Sinterniklaas's guest panel asks questions. I don't know what you're going to ask, so I'm going to prepare myself for everything by drinking a frappuccino from Starbucks. Sponsor of my panel tonight. Thanks, Starbucks. It's not true. I did not get paid, but I did get a frappuccino. Alright, so that's my name. Don't worry out. And I voice act, and I direct, and I do some producing. And I'm currently working on a Gundam series, Unicorn, and a new show for Nickelodeon called Peter Rabbit, based on beautiful comic books.
Oh, nice.
And I'm in Bleach and Naruto, and some new anime that I can't talk about, and I'm a Care Bear now. My first time I ever talked about it. I've been recording Care Bears like for a year, and I'm a Care Bear. And we're starting season 5 of that shit, brother. Are you mom? Wait, what are you? Oh, no.
No, not quite.
No, you're grandparent. I was like, you're from hometown, then we gotta cross over your dog, but all of your brothers. Okay. But the beatbox hat threw me off for obvious reasons. Okay, I'll stop talking.
No, it's okay.
Thank you. Good night.
It's your panel. I just want to give you guys a quick overview of how this is going to work. Put your hands for questions. I will come around, hand you the mic, ask you a question, and then please hand me back the mic. That's the important part. And Michael will answer your questions. So, first round. My first hand over here.
There you go, my friend.
Mr. St. Nicholas,
Yes, hello.
do you know anything about the fate of the Bakamun dub, or is that still up in the air?
Bakamun dub. What a great question. Thank you. I don't know what's going on with the Bakamun dub. We were doing it, and then no one paid for it. So then they were like, and then I reported through the second volume, but they've only released the first, and then because they never paid for the first, and they don't want to pay for the second, they were like, nah, we're just gonna let it lapse, and we're not gonna do it anymore. I was like, really? They're like, well, if someone starts buying it, you will. So it's sort of up in the air. Like if anyone says, we need it, and then it starts selling, then Media Blasters, who still has the license, I believe, will put it out. I don't know, maybe they'll sub-license it or something. You know, like all the companies here, they're not doing so great, and so they're not paying to put things out as much. I don't know if they're going to release the rest of it even, let alone the dub.
I know the second volume came out.
Oh, so they did, okay, did it come out?
Yeah, they did get the second one out.
I
Okay,
think
well,
I don't think the second
we
one.
dubbed it, but they didn't put it on
I think it was
there.
delayed.
Ta-da! Embarrassing question! Awkward moment for you. Yeah.
Hello. Speaking of Bakamun, why did I work with Chris Iosi?
So they did? Chris Nelson?
Why did I work with him in the booth with Chris Iosi? Good Walker.
Actually, when we did that, I was in LA, and then he was in New York, so I didn't even get to direct him. I believe Mark Durazon, voice of Gutsy from Berserk, directed him. I believe, unless it was shown, no, it was him. Directed that session. He's good. You know, I think he was really good for that part, and I hadn't worked with him before. I knew him from like fandom, I guess. And then he got to me. That was pretty cool. A dream come true for one young man in the world where anime dreams come true. Chris Iosi will be in Bakamun, which will not be released anymore. Broken dream. What?
You only have like one line.
I know, but that character was gonna explode.
Yeah.
And then you got to go, I'm gonna go! Then you'll never see. So, alright, next question. Let's make it even more awkward. What do you got? Ask me about how I got touched as a child by the priest.
Yeah, what was the subject of Berserk? So apparently, Media Blasters isn't looking to pick up the movies, but say if Funimation or Sentai did, would you be interested in coming back and direct it?
Okay. question was, would I be interested in coming back to direct it? I'll say this. I love what I do. I love anime, but I particularly loved that show. And I had a panel that turned into sort of a Berserk sort of philosophical debate years after it came out, and it was really, really awesome. I think it's an extraordinary show with incredible depth. And if I had to be completely frank, I would say that not all shows have the depth that that did. There's all this weird stuff going on the surface. At first, like, hey, it's really violent. Hey, why are they seem kind of gay? But none of that is really what it's about. And but it is bloody violent. I would love to revisit that world. I've actually thought of going back and watching it. We did a fine, fine job, and a strange, extraordinary job of it. We used a lot of people that have never done it before. It was important to me to find a cast that was really appropriate for the parts, not necessarily from the talent pool that we have to draw from, the experienced dub actors. I found a lot of people, Guts, Costa, all these people, even Griffith, I had found. Griffith is even now, is pretty much only ever dubbed at NYU Book. He's a theater actor, he's extraordinary, but all these people had never done it before. And some of them not even VO, Guts and Costa, their first VO jobs, and now they're both like doing stuff all the time. So I would love to go back to that world. If Funimation gets it, that'd be great. I'd love to get a call from them. It's precedent for them calling me to do stuff for them to bring casts back together. I think, to Funimation's credit, big time, it's not as easy, simple, or cheap to, when you have all your studios and everything in-house, to hire somebody else to do stuff. But for Oh My Goddess and for Slayers, they were like, it's important to us to honor what's come before and bring the band back together, and would you do it for us? And I was like, awesome, high five. I'm so glad that you care about integrity in your releases. From a business standpoint, it's not easy to always do. Woo! Yeah. Yay, Funimation, thank you. If they pick it up, that'd be awesome. I would love it. And I don't know, but it's more important, would you want to see that continue? Because they go back and do the same story, actually. Would you want to see a whole new cast of actors? Or would you want to just like the people who did it, do it again and build on it? I don't care. The right answer is 2.
It would actually be great to see the old actors come back.
The other thing I'd like to revisit is the crazy ass outtakes we did. I don't know.
I've heard some of those outtakes.
Do those quite the same way. We had a musical number for every volume that Griffith had to do. And I found Griffith in musical theater, like, one-man show thing he did while he was at NYU. It was a showcase for agents, and I got on the list somehow. Even though I was not an agent, I was still casting. And I went in and I saw him, and he sang a love song to himself. And it was extraordinary. He got up in a chair, and he's a tall, lithe man, and his like adoration for himself knew no bounds. It was so cool. And I was laughing, looking around, people like critiquing it, going, why is he being so cocky? He's a comedy genius. So I thought it was nice to have 2 songs: Show Tunes, Whitney Houston, Soul, and so we'll have to make more fun of songs and Berserk. My love for you is like a truck. Next question.
Considering the rather ridiculous popularity of the most recent My Little Pony thing, are you prepared for the possibility of like Care Bros for what you're doing?
Okay, so long story long, the head writer on Care Bears is one of the writers on My Little Ponies, and a friend of mine who is actually he works at Otakon and stuff, and his wife just got a job teaching English in Japan, so he's become a Japanese housewife basically. She works, and he's super into the ponies. He's a total brony. I actually, because this is how I roll, I went to Gallifrey in LA. It's a Doctor Who convention. And thank you for loving the Twin Core Society. I grew up with that. I was a nerd for no one else knowing what that was, because I was a British kid, and I was like, Doctor Who's fantastic. And they're like, what? I'm like, no, but I like to listen to ABBA. You're European. And then the whole thing was preached. But I'm there, and he's there, and he's wearing My Little Pony shirts the whole time. He gave me My Little Pony Valentine, because it was Valentine's Day weekend. And he's talking about the bronies. He's telling And so I talked to our head writer on Care Bears, and she's like, Derp. And I was like, why? She's like, that's me. And I was like, what? You're Derp? She's like, no. You know, it's the art mistake, and then the fandom called it Derp. They incorporated that. Then production realized what Derp means, and someone was like, oh no, Derp means retard. So they were like, you can't say Derp anymore. So they pulled Derp. They just tell her, like, write it out. She's like, okay, we're writing it out. They fix the I. And, but she was supposed to be sort of a slow pony, right? Like a little bit like, Anyway, so they don't call her Derp anymore, and then Amy is like, getting hate mail from people who are like, I'm disabled and I love ponies. This is my point of entry, which is what they say in the business, like how I can relate to your show. And what are you trying to say by correcting this mistake? That being disabled is a mistake? That I'm not valid? I'm an invalid? And it was just like, are you kidding? My son has like multiple sclerosis. Like I am not against disability. But my boss said, change this, so I changed it. It's not a personal thing. So she's caught in the middle of it. And now apparently she's getting asked to do all these like My Little Pony conventions. Yeah, I was like, you're doing a convention? She's like, what's that about? So I told her what these are. And then she's like, I don't know. And then within a week, I gave her name to one person, and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm getting asked to go all over the place. And they're invited by my family. Getting my son there is hard because of his chair, but ta-da! So now she's doing all those things, and she's great. And I think Pony influenced us a little bit. So I haven't seen complete episodes yet, but it's full CG 3D, and they're doing really cool stuff. Like the fur textures are like movie quality. First, hard to render for TV, because doing a movie is faster and cheaper, but we started off doing really young, like, we're a kiddie show, preschool, and then it sort of started aging up and getting a little more sophisticated. So I think it's sort of turning Pony. Never go full Pony. But I'm looking forward to seeing how it turns out, because I think it got really hit by the end. In the beginning, I was like, this is a boring kid show. And now I think it's really fun. And there's lots of really good music in it. And this one little girl who was 9, I always sit next to this one little girl. She's 9 years old, and we're always next to each other in the group record mic thing. And we're always like messing around and like making jokes, and she likes to make ugly faces. My camera's really quiet to take pictures and process it on the iPad, and make up names for things, and make up songs for things. And my nickname for her is Old Chap, so we address each other as Old Chap, okay, Old Chap. And she's amazing, you'll see her, and she's the most adorable thing I've ever heard in cartoons, jeans. And because I found her on that and started directing Nickelodeon's Peter Rabbit, I got to bring her in to read for that, and she just slam dunked it, and is in that too. Superstar. And 10. Now, 10! Sorry. Amazing. I'm having fun with kids. I like kids now. I work with kids all the time. I haven't, but I enjoy them. For a certain amount of time. I'm a cool uncle. Yeah. I don't have to change diapers. All right, who's next?
Did I just kill the band?
Hello, man.
Hello!
Thank you for being here. I'm at Night Act, and I have a play going on next weekend in the Concord area, if anyone is going there. But, as your director, I'd like to know if you have any sort of intro acting tips to actors, as a general rule. I've never taken a class, but I've been doing it for a while, and I want some professional insight.
Interesting. There are many people who have had great success with no training, and some people who have had great success with great training, and some people who have very bad training. I'll tell my training secret tip is I learned this after going to a lot of school. Oh, sorry. Anyone but really good masseuse? I'm not really asking. I kind of want to, but it's weird. I went to, there was a TV show like the 70s, 80s, and then a movie called Fame. I went to that high school, and it's really cool. We dance on the tables, but not really, because we tried, freshman year, we were trying to play like music in the lunchroom. The security guy was like, you can't do that. We're like, but it's the Fame school, people dance on the tables. And they're like, but you can't do that. And we're like, look at the TV, it's not a movie, shut up. But really good training. Just on dancing on the tables or taxi cabs on the street. And then I went to a conservatory to study classical theater, and there's a lot of great training. And before that, I went to the school when I was in London. Remember, listening to Apple, watching Doctor Who, getting persecuted for it. I went to the school in Tallyconti where Harold Carrick went, and the kids from Hogwarts apparently went to. It's in the credits in Harry Potter, and my mom was like, it's in Tallyconti, it's where you went. What? So, a lot of training. By the time I got to college, I remember thinking, I felt like I had a knack, I had some ability or talent, and I could do this, but I really wanted to go to that school to learn craft. So when I wasn't feeling on or inspired, I I could have tools to make me good for that night instead of just being like, I don't feel it, what do? I have to go on stage, everybody paid a lot of tickets. Or we're shooting today. So what I learned after a while was training is important, but I tried to sacrifice what I was doing, what I knew to do, just for technique. I was like, okay, enough of my inspiration side of it, let me just get technique. And that doesn't work either. You kind of got to do both. And the secret of training, they're going to tell you, is they can't train you to do it or to be good. They can show you things, but they show you things to help you discover it yourself. That said, some acting teachers try to be your guru and an all-knowing seer of things and want you to worship them. But ultimately, it's all about what you find yourself. And the other thing about it is what you can bring that no one else can bring is you. So don't give that up trying to fake something else. Find what's great for yourself. And have a friend who's an acting coach. There's a really, really cool workshop on why great actors with great careers are great. He talks about like Philip Seymour Hoffman or Ed Norton. And there's a consistency to what they do. Not just their level of ability, but the roles they take or the way they portray roles that they are casting. Philip Seymour Hoffman, he's like, everyone has some kind of theme that's based on perhaps something that happened to them in their childhood, and he's got a whole like psychological explanation for that. But you'll notice, like Ed Norton, duplicitous something deception was his thing for it. It was his first movie where he's that guy with Back to the Future again, touching kids. There's a whole thing where he's in that movie and he's the guy with the gerbils and the what's his name? Richard Gere. Who's in that movie, and Ed Norton plays this like innocent sort of mentally deficient altar boy who's in trouble and might have been part of some sex scandal. But in the last end of the movie, spoiler alert, he like turns and shows that he was manipulating the entire situation to get all this money, and like he's a genius. Right now, to Fight Club, to American History X, like there's a duplicitous side to the work he's done. He's cast as one thing, but he's something else. Even in Rounders, was a gambler. He was on the straight and narrow, and then he screws it up. To The Incredible Hulk. Talk about duplicity and like that. So that's really interesting to find that. The trick about acting, and I'll stop soon, is for most other arts, dance, what kind of dance are you? Ballet, modern, what kind of modern? Grand, whatever. Artist, well, I'm not a sculptor, I'm a painter. I work in stone, I work in watercolor. Music, I play jazz, I don't play metal, But for actors, it's like, I'm an actor, don't look at me, I can do anything. And maybe you should think about what you do best, so you're not trying to do what other people could do better than you, and you can have a better career. Philip Seymour Hoffman. There was something about addiction and perversion, and all the things, there's like a room. And he talks about, last story, Willy Wonka, Gene Wilder. Thank you, last okay, so there's sort of in him, he's hilarious, but there's like a pent-up thing in Gene Wilder's work. When he was a kid, his mom was sick, and the doctor said to him, pulled him aside and said, "Little Gene, whatever you do, don't upset your mother. It could kill her." And he was like, "Oh!" So now the responsibility for saving his mother's life is on little Gene Wilder's shoulders. So, not a funny kid, but he learns to try to make mom laugh, So he's got that funny side, he's funny, but also that inside him. So who you are is what will make you a great actor. Embrace it, explore it, and hopefully acting is not just an exercise in vanity, but in self-exploration and understanding humanity as a whole. I would like to think that's the case, as opposed to, I look good. Ta-da.
Ta-da.
So, I don't know how much you can tell us or how much you know, but will we see Rusty the musical at any point in the future?
Rusty, well, we did give you one musical episode. Okay, so yes, I don't know, but I'll say this. The whole spider pitch joke, totally my joke, totally like that joke. And then I got to meet Nathan Fillion afterwards.
Nice.
At a show we were doing, it was not venture related. And I actually bought him a pair of Spider-Man underpants, but he left. The second night of our show, it was Christmas, and he left before I got to get them. So I still have some underpants. I'd like to give them to you. I think that would be really fun to do. There's talk of all these different things. We just started doing season 5, that I said already, and we did that musical sort of between seasons 4 and 5 thing, as we were switching over to Titmouse instead of War Leaders. Honest show of hands. Who liked the old way and who liked the new way based on the thing that you saw? Who liked the new way? Who liked the old way? Who doesn't know? Okay, cool. That's like, I gotta have like a control thing. Cool. Yes. Yeah, there are a lot of people like have different opinions on how that one came out. That was a weird one behind the music.
It wasn't what you chose to do. As far as the Adult Swim thing said, if we could have picked what we were doing, we could have touched it a little bit.
Yeah, tell it like it is. White text on black background. My first Comic-Con, I sat on a panel with Michael. I was with Christmas called Jackson, and then the guy who does all the avid title cards. I was like, oh, you wrote that. That's really funny when you wrote that one thing. Things on top. Yeah, but so I don't know. I can go back and be like, hey, people are asking for a musical. Why not? Joss Whedon would do it. He wouldn't shy away. The Matt Parker, Trey Parker,
Matt Stone.
Stone would do it, and I just saw Book of Mormon. Oh my gosh.
It's going on tour this year.
Yeah, go see Book of Mormon. Actually, a guy like Andrew Reynolds, who likes to do a lot of stuff for our kids with, is like the lead in that. It's mental. Anyway, Book of Mormon. A lot of bad words. Meaning why everywhere. But funny. So I think in that tradition, we should totally do a convention musical. And we used to do, like, we did the Christmas song and stuff. You remember the Christmas Carol we did? We did, We Are the, what was that we did? Yeah, Do They Know It's Christmas Time Again? There's one outtake where James Urbaniak, we're at the Astro Base, which is like a cement bunker, and not like a booth. And we're all sitting around, like, trying not to laugh while the other person sings. And so James Urbaniak is like, do they know it's Christmas? He like into a rock, do they know it's? He asked him like a serious, like, insulting question, like, these silly people in Africa don't even know what time of year it is. And we just started laughing. No, we can't do it like that. So, next question. She's got one. Oh, in the back. Okay, no, this one's next, and then you.
Go in the back. I'll get you.
You're in a couple of things. I was just wondering, in Venture Brothers, what is your favorite line that the adventure said?
There were a couple of favorites. There were a lot. Okay, my favorite scene in all Venture Brothers is the opening of Eight Floats. Season 2 was like, oh my goodness. And it's when they're doing the dun, 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 dun. Which also is one of my favorite, like, when I was a kid, my mom took me to see The Planets by Bolts and gave me a notebook and was like, draw whatever you hear. And I was like, drawing the planets, whatever. So I have a special mention of that. And for them to do it and sing it and be all like, it was hilarious. That's the best opening to anything I've ever seen in my life. Television, movie, book, whatever. And favorite lines, there are a few. The one I go back to a lot, if people want me to do like a quote from it, is, I don't want to put my face down there, there's pee on it. They got deep context, they just sound like a whole new deliberate sense which they are not intended to be. Like, your pussy's soft. And your pussy hates me! Actual feline. And then I lost my mind just reading the last line of season 4, which was Dean's. As Dean stands before what appears to be a burning crucifix and swears at Triarch family. Yeah, that was pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So yeah, those would be some of my favorite moments. Oh, Little Red Riding Hood.
Hi. Is Jesus an anime? Because I've seen Jesus walking up and down the hallways giving everybody a high five.
I've seen
Cosplay Jesus.
I've seen a lot of cosplay Jesus, and I don't quite know which anime it's from, but it's got to be something. I know at one point Crispin Freeman told me about this thing that he, I think it was Crispin, did VO for that ended up being some weird like religious propaganda thing. So.
You mean Helsing?
Different religion. No, it was some, I don't know if it was psychology or what, but it was like some other thing. So maybe there's an anime. If there's not, should there?
There's a Bible.
Not Bible Black. Yeah. There's the Buddha series.
No, not that one. It's like, it wasn't made by him, but it's like an adaptation. Yeah.
Oh, well, there may be one.
Jesus like in the
Yeah?
There is a manga version of the Bible.
Yeah, Manga Messiah.
The full Bible in manga form.
I've not seen that.
I really like
I'm going to your library. That's cool.
And is Avatar going to continue, or is it like completely gone? Because like the last episode was like cliffhanger.
There is a new Avatar.
Core's been announced. You can talk about it.
It's announced.
No, it started.
First episode's out.
Oh, it's out. It's probably on Hulu.
Nick.com.
Nick.com.
Officially comes out like
Really?
yeah.
Along with Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23. All right, question.
We'll get to you guys, I promise.
I'm actually in college training to be an animator. As a director, do you have any, have you seen where they work and maybe you can describe what it's like?
Where animation directors work?
Animators.
I love animation. I love animators. Whenever I'm on a show, I'm like the one dude in the voice cast who's always like running around trying to like meet the animators. And a lot of the people that I really missed when I moved. You ate it. Come on. The last person who's going to eat this, so unless you want to share my burger. All right, you're all eating. You never did that as a kid? I did, but I do now. I was a grown-ass man. Well, I mean, a lot of companies are very different, and it changes all the time. I would like to think that there's always a lot of jobs in animation. For a while, recently, a lot of jobs just went poof, like in New York, and then Titmouse opened a studio, now there's a lot more. There's Autumn Blake and Titmouse and a few places you can go, and then California, of course, has much more work. But there's a thing that's little known about. CTN Expo, it's in Burbank, California, and it's literally across the street from the airport. If you were going to fly there just for this one weekend to con, and it's more expensive than coming to one of these, it's an industry thing, you can go, you can meet studios, you can show your portfolio, and a lot of people got jobs there. I met people one year, and the next job, they were like, I work here, I work there, I'm at 6 Point, I'm at Titmouse, whatever. So, yeah, it's also, you can like do a lot of your own stuff. A lot of people I knew on like Ninja Turtles and stuff who were just sort of assisting and got to like ratchet up. And it's a really cool community, I think. Like animators all know each other, they're all really cool, they help each other out. They basically work freelance, like to be staff. It depends on where you are, but it's hard. And most people are kind of freelance and go to a lot of places. Or they're staff for a while and they're staff somewhere else, so it's kind of a freelancer. But it's a really cool community. I like them, they're creative. I like hearing them do voices and playing video games with them, and they are my friends. Good people. Just start meeting people and making friends. They're nice. And if you go to CTN Expo, you can show your portfolio and like talk to everyone. I mean, Blue Sky Pixar and smaller places too. They're all there. And Mobius was there this year, just before he died. Yeah. Morbid.
Hi, nice to meet you, brother. I know you have you're very busy between acting, directing, and just everything you do. But when do you feel like you have the most freedom, like in your career, like between those, or just,
Good question. By the way, I'd like to apologize. I am bleary-eyed. I look like I've either been punched in the eyeballs or I've been drinking freely. Neither of which. I've been sleeping about 3 hours a night for over a month, literally. And it's not been like partying and playing video games and up all night watching movies. I'm like working, like 12 to 14-hour days, and then like trying to get some sleep, and then like waking right up and going right back into it. And also working on both coasts. I'm on New York and LA time, so I'm really sorry. And I might sound delirious or fall asleep like a narcoleptic. Okay, so from acting and directing, and then the studio running, a huge pain in the butt. It's just like logistical things and getting paid, and the contract is up on the office internet, and now I can upgrade to FiOS. Yay! But it's not really sexy. With directing, I feel more freedom to shape the things I'm working on. If you're an actor, even if you have like unlimited freedom to do whatever you want with your part, which you don't, you're still a part of something, you're not the whole thing. As a director, you have your freedom, the scope of your freedom is wider. However, there's so much responsibility as a director to make all these things happen that it's liberating to be just an actor in someone else's thing. And you have to bring ideas, you have to bring ideas. The thing about acting, back to you, actor man, is it's not about being told what to do. My first big lesson in like doing voiceover, not dubbing, was on Ninja Turtles when Sublu, who was, I think she was a Michael Pony, original Pony, she was G.I. Joe, she was an Autobot, sexy, and the original Ninja Turtles director in the 90s when Cam Clark was Leo, not me. They brought her back to direct the second series. Look at that guy right there. You know who that guy is? He's totally internet famous and has a great voice. So I'll talk about it. I thought, we'll do it, and then she'll tell us how she wants it and give us all these ideas. And she was like, good, next. And I was like, what? But well, you really got to bring it because it's all about ideas. So there's freedom to do that, to shape your role, and so the freeing part of being a director is being able to control the entire thing. The liberating part of being just the actor is not having to worry about everybody else's thing, just your own. So on the one hand, I have more freedom to express and create and mold as a director. I have more freedom, I have more relaxation and just like less responsibility freedom as an actor. So that's not a real answer, but it's the real answer.
I hear that.
It's not aortic, it's different reasons.
Yeah. Thank you.
Man and lady.
Hi. First I want to say, I'm a fan of all your work. Probably
You ban all my work?
Throw
them out!
My two favorites is you as Leo and also Guy from Gaga.
Another show that suffered a terrible fate of not getting finished.
My question was what did you like about playing Leo, and also due to the recent news about Michael Bay's doing the Turtles, what's your take on that?
Oh yeah. All right. I'll start with that was really fun to do. Yelling and screaming all day is hard on your voice. I said hard, but what's really fun and cool about it is I don't care about logistics. It's impossible to get him out of his suit. What are we going to do? He only has a 2% chance. If he's brave, he can turn 2% into 2,000%. It makes no mathematical sense at all, but it's awesome. And I think there's something to that, actually.
It's all courage.
Yeah, it's all about courage. It's kind of America, yeah. It's the same tenet. It's what made this country great. I don't care about the odds or reality. I'm gonna do it. Freedom. Anyway, no, it's different. But hey, that is cool. I thought that was really awesome and done so beautifully. And the way they ratchet up the stakes and the solutions, I'm gonna dive to the bottom of the Marianas Trench by building the thing, the bubble, and the come on. And then the golden hammer, and then the what do we do later on?
Something driver.
What?
The driver.
Dividing driver, the bigger weapons. Heaven and Hell. But in the second half of the series, like the Sunrise show, so it starts off like and then die, and everyone's crying. It's like the epic stakes are epic, and that's awesome. And I really wanted to finish that because we got to do like mostly goofy stuff and not the and I love every time my girlfriend sends me to my death. Smash it. Michael Bay. Yeah, Michael Bay makes a point. Yo, fans need to chill. Kidding. Holy what? I mean, I like explosions as much as the next guy, but this is funny. Lately, one of the reasons I've been up so much is I'm doing a lot of work with scripts. I'm currently, I just finished mostly. One of the films I'm dubbing when I get back this coming week is Cat in Paris. It was one of this year's Oscar-nominated Best Animated Features. Oscar-nominated Best Animated Features. Thank you, expert, industry mogul. And it's a really great movie, but dub made in Belgium. Because why wouldn't you go to Belgium and dub your film in English? And it's, gotta say, it's atrocious. Sorry, there's some cameras rolling, but it's pretty bad. A review just came out where they were like, the worst thing is what they did, because they just this week released in the UK this old dub. They couldn't wait for us to do this one and get it done by the end of the month. But I understand. Anyway, we're sorry for that. We're going to have like famous people in it and stuff. You know, it's going to be a big Hollywood thing. For the same company that I did Mia and the Miku with, and we recorded Whoopi Goldberg, Matthew Modine, Wallace Shawn, Inconceivable, and James Woods.
Good man.
So cool. But doing script work, like there are a lot of, I just finished doing an episode of Gundam Unicorn, Volume 5. Gundam. And it's really tricky when you're adapting work, and Michael Bay is not adapting for dub, but he's adapting, you know, a lore, a whole mythos of Autobots, you know? I almost said Gallifrey. Why would I say Gallifrey? Autobot land. What the hell? Galvatron.
Cybertron.
Cybertron. God, heaven. Okay. Side note, when I was in high school, there was a gang in New York called the Decepticons. When my friend told me about this, I laughed. I was like, it's a pro toy. He's like, shut up, they could be anywhere. They're beating up. And they were such a huge gang that sometimes dudes would start beating each other up, and then one who was getting beaten would do the bird call of help me if there's anyone in the area who was in the same gang as me, and the guy punched him and go, oh, we're in the same gang. So they were a big gang, and I should have known better, but I didn't. I was like, but they didn't need. Anyway, and they all came from one main high school, and they called it
Cybertron.
Cybertron. Oh my, wow.
But I think there was more than one Megatron, actually. There's no Optimus Prime, of course. Another side story. One of the producers on Ninja Turtles, Carol Weissman, not her real voice, but that's how we do it, lovely lady, worked at the name of the company that produced the movie of Transformers, was there, and when the movie came out, and they, spoiler alert, kill Optimus Prime, how could you do that? Families, children are calling the office, and literally for like 2 months to answer the phone, he's not really dead, can I direct your call? For adaptation is tricky work, and there is a degree of, but it's not translation either. Like, for me, translating things from Japanese into English, it's not just about making the words in each words. There's, grammatical things, character things. Also, this film is French that we're dubbing. Bringing the meaning up, and maybe finding opportunities to make the movie tell even more of itself that might not have been a hit the first time around. Just because it was done once doesn't mean it was done perfectly. In production, everything is about refinement. Like rehearsals, actor man. Write that down. And why are you writing? Anyone want candy?
Candy.
Oh my God.
So, you don't always get to do, I've got more here, I'll try to find it. You don't always get to put things out when it's done, you have to put it out when it's due. So you do the best you can, you refine, then you put it out there. So maybe when you do an adaptation, you can make it better. But you have to be sensitive to the material. And it's an art, not a science. You've got to, listen to what it's trying to tell you. And I know, now I'm just totally throwing my own animal by throwing candy at it. I'll get you there with the pink on your shirt. So I think for him to just be like, fans to shut up, and hey, let's take Optimus Prime and give him a flame job. At one point, because a friend of mine knew the consultant who was his assistant and trying to, with the, Michael Bay was like, let's make them all dinosaurs or airplanes, and they were like, they're called Autobots. Okay, don't get them dinosaurs. But he didn't say dinosaurs, airplanes or boats or something. He's like, they're cars, they're Autobots. Let's put a